Hello everyone, this is Chelsea from Those with Words. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I am sharing a journal with me session in my December daily project for this year, which is housed in this olive passport traveler's notebook. I will link the setup video that I posted previously down below, but basically I'm using a combination of this Traveler's Company sticker release refill, which is filled with holiday-related stickers, PET tapes, and such. And I am actually doing the journaling in this Softly Studio notebook. Each day is a spread, so both the left and right side of the page. I've been really enjoying it so far, and here's just like a brief flip through of how it's been going for the first week or so. When I recorded the video for this, it was around mid-December, so I was catching up a little bit. What I did this year that was a little bit different from previous years, at least to my memory, maybe I did this before, but I pre-decorated a lot of the pages in advance so that all I would really have to do to catch up on December daily is just to come in and do some writing each day. And that has made this project a lot more approachable for me. So whenever it is that I'm in a pre-decorating mood, I will just come in and work on this passport traveler's notebook for a while, lay down some fun holiday stickers, and then usually the day of, night of, I should say, or the morning of the following day, I will just come in with a gel pen and write about the actual day. Right now on the screen, as you're seeing there, I wrote down the flavor for the Seas Candies Advent Calendar that I've been really enjoying this year. We have two Advent calendars this year, one for Seas Candies, which has 24 chocolates inside and candies, and another one for Bon Maman, which has 12 jams. So that's been really fun to open up one of them every single day, and then for the Bon Maman one, because there are only 12, we've been opening it every other day. And what I like to do with the chocolate one, at least, is I take a picture of that day's chocolate before I eat it. I just put it on the dining table and I take a close-up shot of it and I just move it over to my laptop. And whenever I have enough photos to print, I'll go ahead and print everything at once. I will cut out the picture of the chocolate and then I will paste it down. So as you can see here, for this day, which is day number 9, I already have the chocolate picture on there. Last year, I had a different chocolate advent calendar and I challenged myself to draw it every single day. I would sketch it and paint it every single day. And it was really fun, but this year I just don't have the same kind of energy. So I am just deciding to print the photos instead, which works out just as well. What's interesting, by the way, is that this is such a tangent and not related to journaling at all, but the Seas Candies Advent Calendar doesn't really come with a list of chocolates. So for the day, you just open up the chocolate and you don't really know which one it is unless you are already very familiar with Seas Candies chocolates already. So we've had to kind of guess as best as we can by looking at the Seas Candies website, and it's a bit tricky. They have an advent calendar listing with like a huge list of chocolates, but I don't really want to spoil myself, so I don't know if I should look at that regularly or not anyway. But it's been fun and delicious nonetheless. And for the Bon Maman one, I don't know if you saw, but I saved the label, the back anyways, that needs to be peeled off before you can open the actual jam jar. So I figured that's a great way to collect ephemera. and I peel that off of the back and I paste it onto the December Daily journal. And that's been a really fun way to keep track of that particular advent calendar as well. So here I am on day 10, and I think I'm now starting to decorate. This spread is pretty well decorated already, but I'm adding just a few more touches, and I'm going into the sticker release paper refill from Traveler's Company and just really laying down the additional holiday vibes. I have really loved this particular way of setting up my project this year. And I think this year is potentially one of the first years where I really went all out with winter/holiday themed decorations in my December daily. I have also been using a lot of extra little papers and letterpress cards. So I'm showing you here all of the different ones that I have pulled out from my collection. It's been really nice to use these up because they've been sitting in a little memo sheet holder that I have on my desk. And I actually don't dig into that pretty often. I just leave it to the side and usually forget about it. So the fact that I actually went in there and I picked out a bunch of little papers, and the fact that this notebook, it actually lends itself to using these types of memo pads because a lot of the papers in it are a bit thinner than what I'm used to. So when I want to stamp or write on top of it, I tend to rely on these types of memo sheets more often than not, in comparison to other journals with, let's say, Midori MD paper, for example, that's in a lot of Traveler's Company refills. Those I don't really need to think about worrying about, stamping or things like that. But again, this notebook has some thinner, different papers. So I've been using more memo pads than ever, or memo sheets that, I've collected over the years, different letterpress sheets, and it's been actually really fun to have it so varied across the pages. What I'm doing now is I'm actually putting down the date sticker. This is from the washi sticker calendar that I've used pretty much all year long. And the December theme from Yamadoro is just so good. It's basically a stationery themed calendar all month long. And the color scheme is red and green. So it's really perfect for the December Daily project. And I've been really enjoying seeing the different designs and incorporating them into each spread every single day. At this point in time, even though I'm pre-decorating, I knew that the 11th was going to be a very chill and relaxed day at home. This is a Dayu Yo-Yo stamp from the Day by Day series, and it says no makeup day. I really, really love this particular series, and especially this stamp. I find it very relatable as someone who loves staying home. And I use the Shachihara ink pad in the decayed leaf color, which is also one of my favorites. And I stamped that on the lower right side of the left page, which is like this craft paper material. And now I'm looking through the other decorative elements I have and putting down some little papers and pieces of PET tape to decorate the spread. I am using this double-sided tape from Daiso. I have used this so much. Actually, looking at this past clip now, that roll of double-sided tape has significantly decreased in size since then. to the point where I'm pretty sure I'm almost done with the one that is in this video, and I have to move on to a brand new roll pretty soon. I just really enjoy using double-sided tape because it's so versatile and reliable. And it will make sure that any kind of ephemera will stick onto the page. For that piece of paper that I put down, I could have used a tape runner, for example, but then sometimes the tape runner texture shows up on the back of the paper. And there are times when I don't enjoy that as much. I just want it to be really clean looking. And in those cases, double-sided tape really does the trick. And here I'm using a really small letterpress sheet. And for this one, I am using a tape runner for the simplicity of things. And I think what I'm doing here, if I remember correctly, is I'm making some space to write about the Advent calendar. So I already know each and every single day, at least until the 24th, I am going to have a chocolate photo and a little blurb about which one it was. And then every odd day of the month until the 24th, there is also going to be a little jam label from the Bon Maman calendar. So I'm trying my best to keep that in mind as I pre-decorate. And in a lot of the cases, I will just dedicate maybe just one of the pages to the Advent calendar stuff. And then the other side is where I leave a little more writing room, whether it's on top of a memo sheet or just the page itself, so that I can recount my day on the page. I will say I have ran into spreads like this in this particular notebook because it has just overlapping different types of papers. I think it has around maybe like 4 or 5 different types of papers. So in the way that it's been created, the papers overlap. And there are cases like this where both sides of the page are just like plain white paper, and one side is a lot thinner than the other. Hopefully you can see that. The right-hand side here is a lot thinner than the left-hand side in this case. So again, this is where I am using things like this coffee memo sheet because that's where I'm going to do a bulk of my writing. And as I mentioned before, because this page is pretty thin and I want a very clean look on the other side when I flip the page, instead of using tape runner, I'm using double-sided tape to put down this memo sheet right in the center of the right side page. And I'm using more paper elements to decorate the left-hand side just to give it a little bit more character because right now it's just very, very open and plain, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I really enjoy decorative elements in my December daily. I have realized that this particular project, I have a lot less tip-ins and pockets and things like that than in previous years, I feel like. So it's looking a little more flat than I would like for a December daily, but it is what it is. I am trying to just be happy with the fact that, hey, at least I get to use a ton of holiday-themed decorations, which, as I mentioned before, I think this is the first year where I'm really doing that because I am grateful for some of my friends who have generously gifted me some really fun holiday-themed stickers and PET samples and such. And I'm going all out on using those instead of saving them for some kind of future project. I just decided I'm just gonna paste everything into December Daily this year. I also dug into my own collection of things, and I have a separate sticker book, a much larger sticker book, where I've kept some samples already cut up and pasted in there over the years. And I went through them and I just took out every winter holiday stuff from there as well, and I put it into this particular passport size sticker release paper refill. And it's been really handy. I just can't say enough how much I've been enjoying going in here and just finding so much stuff to use. And hopefully you can see that little stack of a little ring of 5 or so washi tapes that I have on the top, towards the top of the camera, or the screen in this case. And those are the washi tapes, the rolls that I have in my collection that I decided to dig out for December Daily. I know that I can switch things up, and those are not necessarily all holiday themed. I don't really have holiday themed washi tape, but I just dug out the red ones, the gold ones. One of them is a wooden color. So I just decided to use those for all of December Daily so that there is just some cohesive look to it throughout the pages. This is a really cute stamp that says "Keep going," and I laid that down on the top left-hand corner with a dark brown ink pad. And now I'm just adding some final touches with stickers and small PET pieces that I've cut out and pasted into the sticker release paper refill. And I'm really glad I took the time to fussy cut a lot of the PET tape samples because it makes this process super easy. And also just more fun. It just feels like I'm going through a bunch of different stickers and I'm just picking out the ones that I like the best. So that's always a fun thing to do. On the following spread, I am taking an approach of putting a memo sheet across 2 pages. And I like to fold it first in the middle where I know the spine of the notebook is going to be. So that way, after I paste the memo sheet, the notebook can close easily. I do have this thicker washi tape that I've been trying to use up. As you can see on that sample, it's one of the last ones that's left. So I've been trying to use this up. It's just a gray grid washi tape. And I believe I received this in Happy Mail. I definitely don't have a full roll of this one. And I've been doing this thing with washi tape where I've been bordering some of the pages with it. I usually like to take a small piece of washi tape, rip it in half, and then distribute it across the pages, which if you've seen me journal before, or if you've seen any of my journal pages before, you probably already know that that's a very common thing that I like to do. But in this project, I've been just bordering it a lot more, just on the edge of the journal pages. And then in this case, I am pasting in a letterpress memo sheet, and I'm putting the washi tape on both sides just for a little extra support. And that's going to be a small tip-in on the right hand side. This is another Dayu stamp. And it's a fun one where a panda is just leaning back into the couch and watching some TV. I think this day was going to be pretty relaxing as well. So I dug out that stamp and I decided to place it in that corner. And then for the date sticker, I actually decided to place a small part of it behind the tip-in so that it's a little more interesting for when I play with the tip-in. Oh, there's a little bit of an extra element to look at once I lift the memo sheet. And same idea with this pine cone PT piece right here. It's a pretty big element to include behind a hidden memo sheet area, but I just thought it would be fun to discover that once I lifted that memo sheet later on in a flip through. And to give myself a little, hey, there's something back here type of reminder, I put that little tree sticker halfway covered on there on purpose. And now I'm adding some final elements with these sparkle yellow stickers. When I go through the sticker release paper refill, I don't really have a particular vision for each spread or anything like that. I just kind of go with the flow and see what strikes me. And that's the fun part about pre-decorating some of these pages, is that I sort of get to a point where I'm just really into this process and I don't really have to overthink anything. And then when I have a good amount of the spread filled, I make sure to kind of look through and make sure that there's enough space to write on. Just because, I do have to log my day and talk about what actually happened that day. And then I'm actually going back now to the first spread I started with. I think all I did before was just put down some extra stickers here, and then I realized I meant to put down this laptop stamp from Johan Studio, and I totally forgot to do that. So I'm coming back in and using a rather bright red ink just to match like that diamond PT piece decoration I have on the left page, and I thought it would be nice to balance it out on the right side. And there it is. Now I'm giving you a brief flip through of how all the pages I worked on for this video turned out. So first I wrote about my days for days 8 and 9. And then I finished pre-decorating. This is day 10, day 11, day 12, and day 13. And I think each of them looks different enough that I really enjoy how they look all together. So that is a brief look at how I journal and pre-decorate ahead of time for December Daily, which is a trend I'm still keeping up with for myself. It's been, like I said, just really helpful. At this point, when I'm recording the voiceover in mid-December, I pretty much finished pre-decorating everything, so I just have to write now as I go ahead. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a cozy last month of the year, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.